It's up to him. I mean, we could put it back together.
He said he was trying to play with 1200.
It's not gonna work.
And we're way above 1200.
All right, so we'll put it back together. Bro, you know how many people asked about this headlight? I'm about to post it in the description if you guys want to get one. So here's a 300. This is the one that the customer declined the repairs on it. So we're gonna put it back together and get it back to him. So again, the cylinder number 5 lifter failed. As you can see, just spinning in there freely. It's not supposed to do that. It's supposed to be nice and tight like this one. So we'll put it back together. It's important to note, so when you're looking at the lifters, 2 of them have holes in there and 2 of them don't. In the front, see how it says MDS front? The ones with the holes go in the front. So it's gonna be like this, right? So we could drop these in there right now. Like that, okay? The ones in the rear, see how it says MDS rear? Never mix these up. You can't put the rear in the front and the front in the rear. You'll have a big issue. The ones in the rear, the ones with the holes, go to the backside. So it'll be like this. That's it. And then you got the 8 millimeters that will screw in there. And then we'll put the head gasket on, clean out all this coolant from the pistons, and start putting the head back together. All right, now we're gonna dry out all this coolant.
What made you say that social media is crazy?
Why social media is crazy?
Yeah.
It's everything. The whole world depends on social media now. Like imagine before, if you're trying to advertise your business, how are you advertising? Newspaper, Craigslist. I mean, I don't know if you consider Craigslist social media, but like now, if you have the right like followers and right fan base, with a click of a button, you can reach millions, bro.
Yeah, that's the power of social media, guys.
Yep. And goes in like that. And like so. Obviously, if we were doing the job, I would have put new head gaskets on here and then did everything again, but since he's declining it, we're just gonna put back what he has. And then now it's time to put on the cylinder head. That is nice and dry. I'm ready to put the head back on there. All right, so I got all the bolts in for the head. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my ratchet just to get them on there nice and that's enough. What we're doing is we're gonna do a torque procedure, so we don't wanna tighten these down all the way. All right, then we got our 5 10 mils on top, which are these over here. 3, 4, and 5. If you're extra careful, you could plug in the ports, but I think I'll be okay. Just make sure you don't drop nothing in these. All right, now it's time to bring out the Torx bolts and the 1/2 inch for the bigger bolts. Bro, I hope that fan is not affecting the voice. So here's the torquing procedure. Here's the cylinder head. So if we're looking at it like this, it's telling us to torque 1 through 10, which are the bigger bolts down here, to 25 foot-pounds, and then 11 to 15, which are the top ones, these over here, to 15 foot-pounds, and then we'll redo 1 through 10 to 40 foot-pounds, and then do the top ones again to 15 foot-pounds, and then do the bottom ones again to 45 foot-pounds, and then do an extra 90-degree turn on all of these, right? And then we'll go back, do 1 through 10 at 25 foot-pounds. So I'm gonna do a time lapse of this because it's gonna take forever. And then once we're done with that, we'll put on the rockers with the push rods and then put everything back together and get it out of here. All right, final step is 25 foot-pounds for the top 11 to 15. 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. You got to be careful. You got to stop when if you got one of these. Don't go over, because here right now, that's 25, but I could push it more. You don't want to do that. So all the torque procedures done. Just make sure you follow this. Here, take a picture of it if you need to. This is standard for all the 6.4s and the 5.7s, I believe. I could be wrong. But now it's time to put on the push rods, rocker arms, valve cover, and then do an oil change. Where's the oil? You got the oil? Oil filter, and then we're gonna do a coolant flush, get all this dirty oil that probably got mixed over when the head came off, and then put the intake back on, and this one is good to go. All right, guys, so all our torquing is done. So we got the top bolts torqued to spec, the bottom head bolts torqued to spec. Now it's time to install the push rods and the rocker arms. So it's important to note that the rocker arms, this is your intake, as you can see, as the intake side, and the bottom one is the exhaust. So the intake will go over here, the top part, and the exhaust will go on the bottom. But what's the most important part are the push rods. See how long the intake push rod is? Look at the exhaust. You don't want to flip these. So we're gonna grab our intake push rods, like that. You're gonna slide them in to their spots. There's 1, there's 2, 3, and 4, like that. Then you grab your rocker arm assembly, and this is something you want to pay attention to. So see this divot or this part in the rocker arm? That's where the push rod is going to sit. So when you're setting them, I know it's probably hard to see on camera, but we will try our best. And don't go in there just torquing everything down. You want to make sure everything's sitting right. So that's sitting right there. So like that. See how now it's sitting in its spot? You can see that because the push rod is moving with it. And this part is sitting on top of the valve. So again, don't screw anything down. Make sure everything is sitting where it's supposed to be. Like look at this one. See how this one popped out? Can you see that right there? So you can adjust it, just lift it up carefully. Done. See how it's moving on top now? That's how you know. Also, when you're bolting these down, make sure that the slider isn't sitting underneath this like that. You'll have a big issue if you do that. So make sure this is moving freely. You can kind of hand tighten it like that. And then move on to the next ones. Do that for all of them, and then slowly start to bolt these down one by one. I think.
Trust me, if there's one person that can fix it, it's my brother.
You said you hit the muffler?
I hit a muffler on the street.
And hit the oil pan?
I don't know.
The trans pan? Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? I just dragged whether my car didn't came on.
Okay.
I don't know what it was.
Okay.
But, it was going like I said, start up. Reverse camera come on. And,
Yeah.
Neutral, it don't move in neutral, it don't move nothing.
Does it roll though? Can we put it in neutral and roll it? If I knew that, I would have had him spin it around so that way I could fork it up and bring it back down. I mean, we'll figure it out. Where you got it cut from? The cable. Like you cut it from the trans?
Where you get it from? I had a dude work on cars and who did my kill switch.
Okay.
He did it.
Okay.
He did my kill
What kind of kill switch you got?
You got the remote style one?
Yeah, the little button.
Okay.
I need to get the switch, but I ain't listening.
Oh, you got the button style?
I got the button.
Okay.
Switch.
Okay. All right, so have one loaded, bro. I'll take care of it. Appreciate you. Yes, sir. No, you have to zoom in. Where's my light? Where's my light? Here, here. Good.
said content creators are making more money than all these Hollywood stars by putting in less effort. Power of social media.
Are we recording?
Yeah.
All right, guys, we are ready for the intake. Everything is good to go. These are for the injectors. This goes on top of the intake, and then the last part will be putting on the power steering pump. You want to make sure all the gaskets are seated. Oh shit. You want to make sure all these gaskets are seated. These are pretty fried. I would replace those, but again, he rejected repairs. Give me that towel right there. He rejected the repairs, so we're gonna put it back together. But that's worn out. That's not a good seal. Look at this. So put the intake on and get this car shipped. We're almost there. We're gonna tighten up the exhaust manifold. That's it. Now we're gonna drain the oil, because obviously it mixed with the coolant when I took off the cylinder head. I'm gonna clean all this off. Most of it's gonna burn away, but we'll change the oil, change the filter, and give it another startup.
United States Sweets. We are in our studio, and behind me are our famous cheesecakes. All right, plain, Oreo, Lotus, and shortcake. Best cheesecakes in the world. I know I've said the United States.
Call O'Reilly, come send you another $100 if I make it from here.
Where?
From here to there.
Good.
$100.
Okay.
Deal? And all the way around. If you make, I'll give you 100.
Okay. Eric, give me it. Hold it.
For 3. Ah, shit! All right, guys, had to step out of work for a second. We are going to Friday prayer.
That's the most important part.
And then as soon as we get back, we'll finish up that 300. We had to order another quart of oil because they shorted this one. Get that car out the hoist, and then we'll get that charger on there, see what's up with that one.
No, they're gonna fork it.
All right, time to bleed the coolant system. So to do that, we have this tool over here that will vacuum all the air out, like so. Yeah. And next up, we put some coolant in that bad boy. All right, guys, so while this is doing its vacuum on the AC system, we got a Hellcat Durango that just came in for a kill switch. Got some wheels on it too. Bro, look at this paint. You see how it has like fluorescent in it? All right, kill switch. Dead. Hit the on button. Starts. This is not the button style where you have to flick a button. This is all remote. So this goes with your remote factory, and then cut it off. Look at the button, look at the button. Watch this. Hold on, turn off this light. Dead. On. Look at it. Dead. So if you guys need one of these, you know where to come. This is a badass color. You repainted this? Oh, it's repainted.
It's like this one's been epoxied because of a leak or something. So let's replace this fuel pump with a nice brand new fuel pump assembly.
All right, so right now try to start it. Starts right. Everything's fine. You can still use the remote start and everything. If you cut it off, press the off button on the kill switch. Wait like 5 seconds.
You'll notice the light is gonna go away.
It kills the power to it. So now try to start it. Dead. But you can still use the remote start. So if you close the door, remote start it. Oh, you didn't got one on there? Okay.
Nope.
But you can still use the remote start. Everything will still work like factory. It doesn't kill your SRT pages. Doesn't kill the battery. None of that.
All right.
All right. That's the way to go.
I just push on, right?
Just press on and start it. Press the button. That's it.
My man.
All right, so that's where we're gonna stop. 33.39 pounds. I right now have about 34.95. So you just go off the sticker, whatever it says. This one takes up 1.56 pounds. So now we're gonna turn it on, turn the AC on, go ahead. So see how this number's going down? We're gonna wait until 33.39. Keep watching it. Yep. All right, go check the AC, make sure it's cold.
Cold.
Cold? Oh yeah. Put our caps back on there. probably doesn't have its sensors in the front. There's no sensors in the front bumper.